Chapter 1. No, I don't think so. Jade crossed her arms. She felt the absence of power. Jade was immensely drained as she witnessed the horrendous battle between Cornelius, the X-8s, and some wrathful angels on the opposite side of the gigantic control room, which was now tinted in every possible shade of blue. She was starving and tired and still terrified, and had to pee. The stranger in Cobalt kept staring at her, ignoring the blasting and shrieking in the background. It was getting on her nerves. Suddenly, he started shouting at her, incoherent yelling, eyes as wide as saucers, blue marbles madly careening around in his eye sockets. Jade slapped him. Purge, tell me, what is wrong with him? Is this really Traveler? The man in blue was spun around away from her, facing the battle inside Purge. Looks like, Purge answered, uncharacteristically quickly. I told you, it was an illogical thing to try. He wasn't born genetically to become a Time Lord, wasn't groomed, doesn't have the chromosomal imprimatur. Jade placed her hand on her forehead, looked up at the ceiling, and closed her eyes solemnly. So, what does that mean? Like he's retarded or something? Or something, Purge snapped in her authoritarian echo overhead. Another tremor. The stranger in blue returned his gaze to Jade, began to sprint toward her. He held out his hands toward her, fingers wide. He was going to choke her. What's wrong with him? Seriously! Jade was freaked out. Help him! Purge shouted at her. Jade was struck by the bitchiness of the time machine's intercom. How? She demanded. I don't know. Figure it out. This wasn't my idea, came Purge's harsh echo. Just as the stranger in azure was to grip Jade's windpipe, she pointed a finger at him and screamed, Stop now! He was taken aback, blinked, rapidly. Be good, Jade instructed, like a pissed-off mother. Traveler shook his head, squinted at her. Be good? What the? Why? What? He opened his mouth, then closed it, then opened it again. Be... He excitedly pointed a finger right back at her, standing on tiptoes, grinning psychotically. Traveler had just figured something out. Be good! It didn't take long, and the Time Lord in blue was harnessing his energy once more. Residual regeneration energy. Limitless power. He began by expelling strange bolts of loud, bright, thunderous streams of intense electricity. Every blast was followed by a clap of sound, a small sonic boom. X-8s were melted into the floor. Wrathful angels became dust, which was good, as Cornelius had just fallen. The silent golden dragon had taken too much punishment. Within minutes, Traveler set about restoring order inside his time machine. Now, in dark blue, he was armed with a righteous rage Jade had never before seen displayed on his visage, which was also very different. Angry and delighted with the profound violence, the stranger in blue evaporated and destroyed every trespasser in his domain, one at a time, others in packs, which the angry Time Lord delighted in. Cornelius shrunk to his normal size and began attending to his wounds as he curled up onto a chair. Jade could hear and see and feel the explosive ire as Traveler tore through every place in Purge that had been infected. Please, explain all of this to me, Jade asked Purge as she collapsed on her favorite sketching chair. Purge materialized a white Russian next to her. Jade took a sip. As he finishes up, I may as well. Purge intoned. The time machine clearly was developing a personality. Most likely now because Traveler had changed, mutated, evolved. That FOB watch contained all the necessary components to turn a similar life form into a Time Lord, Purge stated. Traveler cheated. Again. I don't know how he's going to turn out. The time machine seemed to sigh. At least you aimed him in the right direction. Jade drained the beverage, slammed down the glass. Thanks so much. Purge made her another white Russian. So, can I become a Time Lord? Jade inquired, sipping this time. Humans evolved from apes. Time Lords evolve from vampires. Jade spit out her drink. Really? Vampires? Are you For real, came the booming overhead voice. That's not what I was going to say. I know, Purge replied impatiently. Shut up. Damn it, Purge, For real. Shut up, listen, the time machine demanded. Jade threw down a wadded-up napkin. I don't hear anything. Exactly. There was a beat of silence as Jade stood and reapplied some lipstick. She took in all the frickin' blue and sky blue and azure and cerulean and good God smurf-tastic new damn time machine. Yeah, I got you. He's done, Jade concluded. Purge had no time to reply as Traveler re-entered the recolored control room in his recolored suit and blue coat and recolored hair. And eyes. Jade was actually envious of this chameleon ability. Wish I could do that, she said to him. What? He asked. He was British now. He was Cockney. Great, Jade thought. Hair shorter, his frame shorter, and a strange beard. She shook her head. Change everything like that? She pointed at his face. Traveler shrugged and frowned. I haven't changed. Jade's eyes widened. She grabbed the compact from her nearby purse. No, don't. You see, Purge warned Jade, but it was too late. Traveler looked at himself and then shouted some more. Blood-curdling, I'm going to die, freaking the hell out, shitting his pants, yelling. Jade slapped him once more and shook him. What's wrong with you? He is still in post-regenerative phase, Purge warned. He has the power of the Eye of Harmony, the power of a supernova collapsing into a black hole for the next 20 to 44 hours. He has the power of a god. Traveler seemed to compose himself. Oi, right. He gently placed a hand to his face, rubbed it, then seemed entranced by his hand. It was emitting a faint luminescence. Not just his hands, his entire body. Light, energy, power were just barely held back by his physical form. He was literally glowing, as if irradiated. And he's unstable? Is that what you're telling me? Jade smiled as she straightened his tie and smoothed out his shoulders. What else is new? I've regenerated, Traveler announced. Very English. Very doofus. Good for you, she ruthlessly mocked him, then kissed his cheek. Good? He stared at her, bewildered. Jade pulled away to look at him sternly. Now, are you going to clean all this shit up